We are always looking for some good news and positive trends here on Right Now, and this week we found it with Matthew McConaughey. He started a little bit of buzz this week from his 4th of July remarks. Let's check him out.
Happy birthday, America. Yes, indeed, as we celebrate our independence. Let's admit that this last year's trip around the sun was also another head scratcher. But let's also remember that we are babies. You know, as a country, we were basically going through puberty in comparison to other countries' timelines. And we're going to go through growing pains. We are going through growing pains. And this is good because we got to keep learning. And we got to make sure we maintain hope along the way as we continue to evolve. Why? Because it's who we are. Why? Because the alternative sucks.
Right. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. No. Mind blown. Why does this man always sound like he is high? Bless Matthew McConaughey. He is who he is. What can you say? So his message, so a lot of people are making fun of it online, and I get why. It's a pretty crude analogy. Puberty is an awkward way to describe the last year of life in America and evokes a lot of unpleasant imagery. But Matthew McConaughey is right, though, and I want to tell you why. And this is something that gives me hope when I turn on the news or scroll Twitter and everything feels awful. It's a bit of a trope to say that America is a young country, so therefore you shouldn't worry about anything. There are tons of young countries in the world. We're actually pretty average in terms of nation states based on when they've declared sovereignty. The average country is 160 years old in terms of having an established, consistent form of government. But the thing that makes America what it is that it's founded on some radical, young, and untested ideas. Most notably that your rights as an American are inherent. No human being came up with them for you, and as such, they cannot be justifiably kept from you. You don't get a 15th Amendment, a 19th Amendment, or Civil Rights Act of 1964 without this notion about rights, that they're God-given, and if they are being withheld, you got to get them back. You have to take them back. Whether you believe in God or not, think about the thousands of years of human history and government. The norm has been monarchy, despotism, slavery, war, famine. The norm has always also been relatively racially homogeneous nation states and empires. Rome is a classic example of a more ancient civilization that was a multiracial empire by nature of its sprawl, but intensely hierarchical with caste-like ideas of who was born to govern and who was born to be governed. It took America till 1964 to at least give its founding vision a real fair shake. Technically, we turned 245 this week, but when I see national tension like the kind we have experienced this past year, regarding race, identity, history, the kind of government that we have, I say to myself that we are only 57 years old. We are only now taking on the challenge of being a multiracial republic, stitched together with nothing but ideas and a sense of shared purpose, not to mention an equal right to participate in said republic. And it is going to be really hard. It is going to hurt and be scary and occasionally dark, but there is a light worth hurting for, and that light is what we celebrated this week. It is 1776. All men created equal, rights from God that are unalienable, the value of life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, government that exists to secure those rights, not gift them to you, and the right of the governed to alter or abolish the form of government if it is failing to do these things. Thus, the 15th and 19th Amendments, for example. Our challenge is to expand freedom and opportunity, at the same time not forget where we came from, and to not lose sight of how radical and youthful the American experiment is, which is, I think, what Matthew McConaughey was talking about. It's going to be turbulent, but it's going to be worth it. I will let Ron Swanson have the last word on it.
And I will spend the day getting to know London's history.
History began on July 4th, 1776. Everything before that was a mistake.
Bingo! All right, thanks for watching. I'm Stephen Kent, and remember, always ask why, stay out of line, and be a bug in the system. See you next week, folks.